today is a top-selling singer who we first got to know on American Idol. She went from idol to icon after winning an Academy Award for her role in Dreamgirls. Now she's the author of an inspirational new book called I Got This, How I Changed My Ways and Lost What Weighed Me Down. Please welcome the very exquisite Jennifer Hudson.
See Chicago girls make it.
Jennifer, I said you were exquisite. You truly are. You're breathtaking and beautiful. I've never met you before. You are just look at that skin.
Surprisingly beautiful.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you so much.
It's breathtaking.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, we all got to know you on Idol, and then you sang at Super Bowl. I mean, the whole world knows you. But when you first performed, where did you perform?
Well, I used to perform a bit all over. Anywhere that anyone would hear me sing, I would be there. But I used to work in a restaurant, and I used to sing. I worked the drive-thru, so they had a mic. So I used to sing. They had a mic. So I'd be like, "Is that someone singing? Is that the radio?" It would be me.
Like, would you sing songs or?
Yeah, whatever came to mind, I would just sing it and entertain the people because you could hear the beep.
Yeah.
It's like anytime a car come around, you hear beep. It's like, oh, that is my chance. Yeah, so entertaining.
Now, in your book, you attribute your passion to music to your family. So who was your biggest influence?
Definitely, I would have to say my grandmother, because my sister said I stood in the talent line and I got all the talent, right? So she said her name is Julia Hudson, my big sister, and my grandmother's name was Julia Kate Hudson. My name is Jennifer Kate Hudson, and so I got my grandmother's middle name. And so she says the talent is in the middle of the name. Kate.
So you're the other Kate Hudson.
I'm right, I'm the other Kate
Okay,
Hudson.
got it.
And so I got my voice from my grandmother.
Wow.
It must have been so exciting to not just to be a part of Dreamgirls, which was such a such a huge and exciting production. Even when you were making it, you knew it was going to be something big. But also, it was like your first big role, and then you had to kiss Jamie Foxx. What was that experience like?
It was such a whirlwind because I did not realize how important the character was of Effie at all. I was just going through the motions, and sometimes it's better to go into things blinded. So at times I would walk on the set and did not realize like the whole scene would be on Effie. And I remember the first time I had to walk in and kiss Jamie, it was my first time meeting him. And they walked over and it was like, that's Jamie Foxx, it's Jamie Foxx. Hello, Jennifer, all right, kiss. I was like, can I meet him first? Can we talk? Can we have a conversation? Like, I'm little Jennifer, how are you, Jamie? But it was so intimidating, it really was.
Yeah. But you had a chance to be in another box office hit, but you turned that one down. Explain that one.
You must be talking about Precious. Yeah, it's just at the time I felt as though the role was, at least in my script that I got, it was just a little too graphic for me at the time. And I was like, I don't need to do that, it's okay. But I think, you know, it turned out amazing, obviously, as we all know. And I just feel like what's meant for somebody is meant for them, and what's meant for me is meant for me, and that's okay, you know.
No, that role wasn't for you, Mrs. No way.
When you were on American Idol, people started telling you you needed to lose weight. What do you remember thinking when you heard that?
It was, well, one, obviously when you're trying to get in this kind of business, you hear that a lot. But for me, especially during that time, it's like, no, it's about the talent, and that's what it's supposed to be about. That's what it should be about. So I was not trying to hear those things. And then later, being able to get Dreamgirls and being in that, and then being told, okay, after being told so many times you need to lose weight to be in this industry, and then when I finally make it to Hollywood, it's like, okay, now can you gain 20 pounds because you're actually too small. And that's why to this day I say you have to do these things for yourself. Because, honey, you would never know.
Who to listen to? Everybody tells you different things. It has to be right within you.
Yeah, and in your own time, you know. And again, I'm in a different place in life than I was, what, 8 years ago. That was when I was on Idol. It's been almost 10 years now.
You were a baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you were.
And so what was it that made you, because you look unbelievable.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank
you've always been beautiful. I think in every way you've been beautiful.
Always
You look
got the
amazing
face.
now. What was it that motivated you to decide that you wanted to change your body?
Well, the number one thing that inspired me, one, is my son. I wanted to set an example for my son. My fiance is a bodybuilder and a wrestler, and just me, and we realized that we didn't learn about health until our late 20s. So we're like, hold on. And I was like, well, we need to set an example for our son. So that was what led me to do that. And just to give him the option. I don't want him to be pressured and say, oh, I have to be this. Or, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, nope, I love to leave options. Just like my mother used to tell us, as long as you're happy, I'm happy. And I just want him to have those options.
We're going to have more with Jennifer Hudson when we come right back.
Talk, and we are here with Jennifer Hudson. Now, you went through a deep personal tragedy a couple of years ago where you lost your mother and your brother and your nephew, and your brother-in-law was actually charged with the murders. How have you been able, because you've obviously been able to move on and grow and do so many amazing things, what was your secret in kind of gathering strength and moving on from that?
Definitely my faith in God. I was brought up in the church, and so and holding on to everything that my family taught me. You know, I always feel like the greatest gift my mother ever could give us was God, giving us the Christ. Also, just hearing, they stay with you through it all, you know, and I hear their voices in my head every day. And, you know, hearing my brother's voice saying, Jenny, knock it off. Or my mama, Jenny, why are you crying? You're always crying. You're crying, you know. So hearing him say, you know, knock it off, Jenny. Because if he was here right now, he'll say, knock it off. You know, stop crying. Stop moping around. Get up and live your life. And I know that's my way I can make them proud.
And you also say that your fiancé David saved your life. How was that?
Well, what I mean by that is, again, it's like we should not go against what is right now. Like saying, like, well, I should have made it. Or like my grandmother used to say, man, if you missed that airplane, it must be a reason why you missed it. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Things like that. So that's why I try not to force things by saying, oh, I didn't get that, or I wish this would have happened. Things happen the way they're supposed to happen. And David called me and was like, can you come out here and see me? And I was like, okay, I'll come visit you, when I normally would go home, lay in my mom's bed, and stay at the house with them. But just that one decision saved my life.
Wow.
Wow, that's right.
And now the two of you, you and David, have been engaged since September 2008. But what I guess a lot of people may not know is that you actually had 2 engagements.
Okay. Yes. Don't get it twisted.
I like that plan. That's a good plan.
So he proposed to me on my birthday, and he would complain that he didn't have an engagement ring. You have a ring. How are they going to know I'm taken? So what I did, so I had him a ring made, and then I gave it to him as his birthday gift on his birthday. And the way I gave it to him, I was like, so now will you marry me? So I kind of proposed to him, too.
That's great. I love that.
So how are the wedding plans going? Because planning weddings can be very stressful. And you know your feelings.
Oh God, it'd be like, why are you asking me all the questions? You're the bride, duh. You know, but it can get you know, really like tedious. But it's fun, and I like to be creative, so I'm coming up with all the creative ideas. David is more sentimental than I am, so you know, he throws his 2 cents in too.
What idea are you excited about?
What idea? What do you mean?
Like you said, you're coming up with all the ideas.
Oh, like my dress, for instance. It's like its own show by itself. What is she doing here? Yeah, it has its own production. It really does. Yeah.
And you know, every bride at some point when they're getting ready to get married has in their head, I want to look this way. I'm going to lose 5 pounds. I'm going to do that. Have you set those other bride goals, like I want to lose this much weight, or I want to do this before I get married? Do you have that in your head?
Well, I feel like I've met my goal of where I want to be.
Yeah, you do.
Thank you.
You don't need to do anything else.
Long as I don't lose no more weight where I can fit in my dress. You know, like, okay, I might have to get it taken in some more, but I don't want to lose anything else. So long as I stay right here.
Perfect.
You know?
Maintain it.
Maintain it. Yeah.
That's a good goal.
Thank you.
Other than, of course, your book and getting ready for your wedding day, what's next for you? What can we look forward to in your career?
Well, definitely more music, more acting.
Yes. The song is a hit. The song is a new anthem. Great new anthem.
Thank you. So, yeah, more music. I want to start writing more, get into the, writing my own music more. I'm just working on my two-step. I've never been a dancer, but I'm going to try.
You're going to take dance lessons for the wedding day.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's right. We'd rather sing a song than dance.
Yeah.
Because David can't sing, but he tries, so I have to work with him on that.
Well, you are unstoppable. You look beautiful, healthy, gorgeous family. Congratulations to you, Jennifer. Everyone in our studio audience is going home with a copy of Jennifer's new book, I Got This. For a chance to win your own copy, log on to jhud-talk.com. Up next, recharging your sex life with advice from Dr. Laura Berman.